This is Wells of Hope Vocational Center, where we are empowering men, that is training them for free, and it is full body. And I would like to inform everyone that it is important for everyone to realize that a nation that is led by men of integrity, and possibly 30% of women, is a nation that is going far. The leadership of men in a nation from creation is divine. Men are the foundation of a nation, and they own the population of the nation. We cannot assume this fact. Unfortunately, we are carried away by people's interests and greed. It is my prayer that we return God's hierarchy, and we will attract greatness from heaven to our families, churches, and the nation at large. Where I am surrounded by men who were once victims of illicit liquor and drugs. This is Wells of Hope Vocational Center, a rehabilitation center, vocational training center for artisan courses like electrical installation, masonry, plumbing, agriculture, and so many others. Some of these men were victims of crimes and were jailed for months, and to some for years. Today they are born-again Christians who will make great husbands to some ladies somewhere and become the foundation of their family. This is an answer to so many prayers, I am sure, from ladies. It is mission accomplished.
Nimefanya hadi robbery. Shop, nimechimba chini kama wale wanaadhirika. Nimechimba chini, nikatoa vitu zote alafu nikafunika. Kama kuna kashimo. Alafu unakunywa unaambia majirani, hebu hameni hizi protein zangu. Unawafukuza wote.
Mimi nilianza kunywa pombe nipo 2006. Baada ya kujaribu kuingia kwa jeshi nikafeli. Ilikuwa wakati lazima ungetoa home, hata ukimaliza pale ukienda medical unatolewa. Najua sasa, najua starehe ni gharama, na siku wa kazi. Sasa nikaanza kuingilia mambo ya crime. Najua mtu anaanzanga na geta, unakuja una graduate, unakuja unakuwa professional. Nikafika mahali sasa mpaka nikakuwa sasa natumia sasa mpaka bunduki. Nikanyang'anya tu bila huruma.
Some came to this place hungry and shaking, for they were consumed by alcohol and drugs completely. But we thank God, from 2 months from April, they are now strong and ready to sit for their trade test 3 from 13th August 2018. Just look at how strong and handsome they look. This is a full boarding institution, and these men are not paying anything, for their families are poor, and that is the reason they found themselves in this desperate situation. Kindly note that poverty did not grab them their leadership position. They are men, and they will remain leaders forever. It is our responsibility to accept that fact and support them in full force.
Kama ni wewe, imagine watu 50, mtu anashindwa kulisha watu 3. Mtu alafu achukue watu 15. She is doing well. Put yourself on her shoes. Imagine mtu ana take burden ya watu kama 50 ama zaidi. In fact, he is willing to do kuchukua wengi, lakini finance inasubua.
These men are between age 25 to 50 years, and only 2 out of 41 are married. Kindly note that we registered 319 men in one day during the recruitment day at Kwabera Market in Remuru, but we could not manage to admit all of them for lack of space and financial ability to maintain them. God called me to empower men in February 2010, while he told me that my generation is finished. Wake up and salvage the remaining. I have carried this painful pregnancy for a period of 8 years, where we managed to buy a 5-acre piece of land with my husband to construct a vocational center, as our plans have been. This being the 9th year, my husband and I approached the leadership of the Council of Elders and requested them to partner with us so that we may all empower these disadvantaged men and clear them from the trenches and streets to enhance security and achieve stability in our nation. I would like to assure you that there is nothing that hurts a woman like living with a man who is not working, because they were told by God to till the earth. We thank God for the elders came on board and now we are working together. Our desire is to make sure that these men complete their courses and we support them to secure employment. There is still a concern for their marriage, for them to become fully responsible, and we ask all the single ladies to prepare themselves to be presented to these kings 2 months before they complete their courses so that they may make their choices. Are you happy about that? We will make announcement concerning this, and therefore just wait. Single ladies, wait. God is coming for you. At the moment, we kindly ask you to help us with food and tools for different courses as we all think about the construction of this institution, whose architectural and structural drawings are done and approved. As you can see, this approval which is signed, and also a certificate of compliance by the National Construction Authority, as you can see it here. We purpose to be releasing 2,000 men annually once the institution is up and running. This kind of an institution will be replicated in every other county within the nation through the elders of different communities to make sure Kenya is one and is secure. So many people have wondered why I have directed my attention to men. And I would like to this information that which many people do not think about, that every human being begins from a sperm that is released by a man during sexual intercourse. This sperm is a carrier seed that produces an embryo after fertilizing the egg in a woman, and thereafter grows to a child that is born after 9 months. A child is a career child who should be taken to school to discover that career and realize the product, which is the profession. This is what gives value to a man, for he is in charge of procreation and thus own the population. When we are talking about destruction of men through alcohol, we are talking about a sperm whose career product was not realized, hence losing great achievements and solutions for our nation. This is the reason we have so many foreigners in our country solving our problems because of our ignorance. When I am talking about education, I cannot avoid speaking about the value of a man. And when I am talking about a man, I cannot avoid talking about the origin of education and the importance of knowledge. For it is from their sperms we get children and thereafter get professionals after going to school. Unfortunately, corruption has denied the government a chance to realize the dreams of most of our children because the big fish decided to swallow the small fish without fear. When you steal from the government coffers, you open prisons and graves of your people. But the moment you give to the poor, you open schools and give lives to your people. The reason Africa is poor is because they steal from the poor and earn for themselves a curse. And the reason the developed nations are rich is because they give to the poor and earn themselves a blessing. Proverbs chapter 19, verse 17, the word of God says that whoever gives to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will reward them for what they have done. Anyone who gives to the poor die wealthy, and anyone who steals from the poor die poor. This is the reason most of the Africans die young and leave debts and curses to their families, and the developed nations live their full lifespan and leave inheritance to their children. Men of Kenya, I am asking you this question. For how long shall we beg from the integrity of men from other nations? I am challenging you, and you have to speak to me, because it is so hurting for each and every man here came from a sperm, but they did not realize the product of the sperm because of how much people have stolen from the government coffers. If all men came together as one and purposed to realize the dreams of all the children in Kenya to cover the weaknesses of their fellow men, Kenya would be wealthy in a very short time, and we will be having solutions for everything. No Kenyan would desire to live in a foreign land unless appointed by the government, for wealth is not in a nation, it is in a person from the seed of the man. This is the reason we have decided to empower men as the source of wealth in a nation, as we teach them on their value and make sure they respect their nation and educate their children to realize their dreams. I appeal also to all ladies that will get married to these men. Hallelujah. To get ready to take care of them and protect what God will give to them, because these men will be full image of God as God intended, full of integrity, ready to rule and take dominion. Psalms 112, verse 1 to 3, the word of God says that blessed is the man that fear the Lord. His children shall be mighty in the land. The generation of the upright will be blessed. Wealth and riches are in their houses, and their righteousness endures forever. You do not have to steal from the government. You only need to be upright and righteous to attract wealth. I appeal to everyone to support this project, to empower the foundation of this nation for the sake of our generations. God bless you and do you great as you purpose to support us, to support this great project ordained of God.